Hey, welcome in, and thank you for joining this unboxing of the Ironheart Hero Pack, part of Marvel Champions the card game. If you enjoyed the video and this kind of content, please comment and subscribe below. Alright, so I finally got the Ironheart Hero Pack. This is something that I've been waiting for a while. When I originally saw this come out and the build-ups of it, I was honestly more excited for Nova, and then watching videos of Ironheart, it's obvious she's just one of the S tier heroes. So I'm really excited to get this and actually play and build her up. So this is the box. Inside we have the standard, get her little poster, which is this one. There you go, some Ironheart art, and then the information about her pack. We'll set that aside and take a look. All right, so let's dive in. We'll open this up. There we go, Ironheart. So as we take a look, here she is. This is Ironheart, the hero side. First stage starts out with 1 thwart, 2 attack, 3 defense, and her gimmick is you get progress counters throughout and you exhaust those, ready her, and then swap her out with the next versions coming up. But here is Riri Williams. When I hear people play, I hear it pronounced a little differently depending on who's playing. Riri I've heard, but yeah, as we take a look, she has the genius aspect, and you begin the game with this card and you set the other identities aside, and she is a child prodigy. So you spend a resource on this side and you get to place those progress counters. So there's plenty of flipping back and forth with these. So the next one that comes in is the second version of Ironheart with a 2-2-3. I think the back stays the same the whole time. And I guess we can look at the hand size. Yeah, that first version of Ironheart just has 4 hand size. Then you can see the second will have 5. And then finally the 3-2-3 hero, which is some insane stats. We get to now do damage with our progress counters with a hand size of 6 on the Ironheart side. And looking at her set here, we start out with her ally Brawn, which is interesting. So I don't know too much about the Ironheart Marvel verse, so I don't know all that much about Brawn. Obviously part of like the Hulk family, so I'm excited to learn more about that, I'm sure, as TV shows come out, and I could go look it up, I'm sure. But anyway, this is a second version of Brawn. We already have him in the aggression packs, but while he's exhausted, he gains, he's able to generate a resource, which is just awesome. So then we get 2 flyovers, and this is some thwarting, so we get to remove 3 threat from a scheme and place a progress counter, and then 2 progress if that's the last on the scheme, so that's a really good card. We get our 2-3 photon beams, dealing 4 damage to an enemy, and placing 1 progress counter, and 2 if it defeats them. So these progress counters have, there's lots of ways to get them, so it's not, my initial worry was that it was going to be too difficult to actually level her up, but from what I've seen, it ends up being really fun and manageable to do that. So we get 2 new and improved cards. It's a skill where we choose X different options, where X is her version number, so a third version number can do 3 different options. You can search your deck for an Ironheart card, give her a tough status, and then ready her, so that's very powerful. We get sector scan, so probably one of those. You reduce the cost to play. So this is a free card in her final form. And the hero action is until the end of the round, you may look at the top card of the encounter deck at any time. So that's pretty cool to know what's coming up and know if you have to adjust your strategy around that. And then you get 2 Stroke of Genius resources. After you spend this, you place a progress counter, which is cool enough. And then you get to draw a card, which is very powerful for a resource. And then you get your supports. So you get Ronnie Williams, and you can, in your alter ego, place progress counters on her or heal. You get Tony Stark AI. You get to exhaust Tony Stark AI and look at the top 2 cards of your deck and add one of those and discard the other. So that's pretty cool. And then lastly, you get your big upgrade. So you get the Photon Blasters, where you exhaust these and deal damage equal to her version number. So this is 3 damage a turn, which is bananas. And then same thing with the propulsion jets, where you're removing threat. So a lot of awesome cards here. As we're continuing to look, this is still her base deck that she comes with. We're looking at leadership. So we get Cloud9, who you can exhaust, choose a player, and they get Aerial and +1. So that's all right. I don't know how often I would use Cloud9, but who knows? We get another version of Falcon. After Falcon attacks and thwarts, you spend a resource and you can ready another champion you control. So that's pretty cool. 4 cost card is expensive, but readying is an awesome ability. So we get Patriot as well. So these are, focused on all the champions. I've watched a little bit of Marvel Champions, Champions content on Disney Plus and looked it up a little bit. So I'm familiar with Patriot, and I don't know, they have a couple shows. So we get Patriot, and after he enters, we choose a champion character, and they get +1 to each of their basic powers. That's pretty cool. We get 3 Go All Outs. You have to pay this using an energy resource. You exhaust your hero and deal 2 damage to an enemy equal to the total value of your hero's thwart, attack, and defensive values. Deal damage to an enemy equal to combined? Wow, so that's huge if you have her on version 3. Go All Out's really going all out. You get Push Ahead, which you have to pay using mental resources. You exhaust your hero and remove threat from the scheme. Same thing as Go All Out, but with the threat. That's also really powerful. Wow, that's just trying to think of all the scenarios I've been in where that amount of threat removal would have been insane. So we also get some morale boosts where we choose a hero and then we get +1 to all of our attack, thwart, and defense. We get an R&D facility. You have to use at least 2 mental resources. And you get 3 research counters. You exhaust this and remove 1 research counter from it. Choose a friendly character, and they get +1 thwart, +1 attack. So yeah, this deck is you get 3 of those. So this is really focused on boosting your attack and thwart and defense stats, and then loading that up. And then you get 2 Power of Leaderships, and then here come our basic allies. So we get Agent 13, Sharon Carter. After she attacks or thwarts, we choose a shield support and ready that support, which I feel like we've already seen this same exact version of Agent 13. I could be wrong, but good to see it again here. We get Snow Guard, 0 thwart, 0 attack, 4 cost. After Snow Guard enters play, we place up to 3 shift counters here. While the shift counters are equal to X, she gets, okay. So you place 3 shift counters, and it starts with, she'll get 5 hit points and retaliate of 1. And then once there's 2 shift counters. You choose how many shift counters you want to put on there. So you can either have her be a chump blocker for you. That's not very, I mean, some pretty good chump, pretty good blocking with 8 health and a retaliate, or you can have her be a thwart machine or 3 attack with overkill. Wow, okay, Snowguard's really good. This is a card, usually when I see a 4-cost ally card, I'm like, I don't know if it's that worth it, but Snowguard seems pretty worth it. We get a Vivian card, an actual basic one, out of, not just from the Vision pack. So let's see, after she enters play, you choose an attachment, non-elite minion, or permanent side scheme, non-permanent side scheme, and until the end of the round, you treat that as if it were blank. Oh, that's pretty cool. And then we get we get 1 Go for Champions, max 1 per deck. Play only if you have the champion trait. Each champion character in play cannot take damage until the end of the round. So Go for Champions is pretty cool. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm trying to think of different combos you can do for that. I've been seeing a lot of Go for Champions ideas with the potential Rogue pack coming out, because she can take a trait from other characters. Pretty cool. So here's our Helicarrier. We've seen that 1,000 times. We get 3 Ingenuities, playing only if you have the Genius trait. Max 1 per player. Oh, okay, so this is a 2-cost resource generator, which is awesome. Awesome, awesome. It's interesting that her pack comes with 3 of these in her basic deck, considering you can only have 1, but hey, teach their own. Now, onto her obligation and nemesis. We get a minor setback. You give it to the Riri Williams player. Remove 1 progress counter. That's a bummer. And then discard. If no progress counters were removed, deal yourself 1 face down encounter card. And then shuffle this. Okay, so there's no way to remove this from play, but yeah, it's kind of it's not the worst obligation you can find, but it's not ideal. And then looking at her Nemesis set, we get Lucia von Bardas. She has taken control of Latveria and will stop at nothing to prove the county's might once and for all. Okay, so that makes sense with, I mean, I don't know too much about Ironheart, but we see a lot of Lucia mentioned in the upcoming MCU as along with the Ironheart stuff, so we'll see those coming together. But yeah, so as a minion, while she has a tough status card, she gets +1 scheme and +1 attack. After the villain phase, you give her a tough status card. Huh, interesting. Not terrible, but not ideal either. So she gets Cyborg Tech, where she gets +1 attack, and then her Treachery, Political Retribution. Yeah, you get more threat on your roll by force. Tough. All right, so that is a look at her base deck. And then, as with all the packs, they have been coming with extra cards. Well, they've always came with extra cards, but also extra Nemesis sets now. So we get an Aggression Ally of Bombshell. I don't think I have seen anyone use Bombshell yet, but 4 cost, 2 thwart, 3 attack. And you can divide the attack among each enemy as evenly as possible. Each enemy as evenly as possible? What does that mean? What's evenly? I guess I'm not too sure what that wording means. Does it mean can you do 2? Oh, okay. It probably means that if you have 3 enemies, you have to deal 1 to each enemy. If you have 2 enemies, you have to deal 2 and 1. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so that's interesting. I kind of like that. It's pretty cool. Bombshell, 4 costs though. Then we get a Justice Wasp. I'm about to put together a Justice deck for a character, so let's look at this. So she's a champion and she ignores guard. Oh, so that's pretty cool. You get to get some for a 2-cost ally. That's definitely good. You get 4 thwart for a 2-cost ally that can ignore crisis icons and guard and patrol. Wow, that's pretty cool. I like that. So then we get Pinpoint, a 2-cost protection ally, 1 thwart, 2 attack. Play only if you have the champion trait. When a player card would be placed into a discard pile, from play, exhaust Pinpoint, shuffle the card into its owner's deck. Huh. That's not too bad. And then, let's see, now we get our Zax enemy, what is this, modular set. So, feedback loop, we get Zax controls the city's power supply and is causing havoc. Pretty cool. Zax. Yeah, it's a cool card as well. For some reason, Nemesis sets, or not Nemesis sets, modular sets don't get me too hyped up, but I like seeing the art and the different things that they can do, though. If you have at least 2, oh, that's a tough boost card, bringing him in. He has an attachment of Haywire. You attach this to yourself. Treat the printed resource. Oh, okay, so you attach Haywire and then everything has to be energy, so that helps Zax come out if he's a boost card. Okay, those are pretty cool. Environments, Zap. I haven't seen anyone play, I don't think, with the Zax Nemesis set, but modular set, but yeah, no, so pretty cool. All in all, you've likely seen the Ironheart set already. She's such a powerful hero, really cool hero, and I am so pumped to start playing. So yeah, anyway, I appreciate you joining and walking through with me all the different cards and how I like to view things. I hope you enjoyed the video and go out and pick up Ironheart because she seems awesome. All right, we'll see you next time.